Figured I'd be done with the Rugrats after I reviewed all the feature films for theaters. But hey, I can be unpredictable, especially since the show has made its rounds with the occasional holiday special. And coincidentally, this special also has a voiceover from Christine Cavanaugh before she retired. There's something about this show that has charm, something that gets me to revisit it dozens of times when still realizing how pointless Dill and Kimmy's existence are. The Santa experience was always a staple of the holiday season, along with watching the Rudolph short as animated by Rankin Bass and The Christmas Story. It has all my favorite characters talking about one of my favorite holidays, each with their own story that plays a role in the overall experience. I know a lot of people like the Hanukkah special since it's one of the few Hanukkah specials that don't suck. Adam Sandler could be taking notes from this. I'm just saying. The episode works in 3 parts since, let's be honest, most 2-part episodes have multiple storylines to make up for the running time, especially since the Rugrats have always worked as a show with a format that's been composed of multiple parts, mostly after the 2nd season. But because the formula and each character is important to one another, it gives the special a consistent flow. Tommy the leader is trying to get Chucky the paranoid one to believe that Santa isn't terrifying by setting up traps to catch him on Christmas Day. I especially love as they're setting up traps around the cottage, the gang has this to say about the chimney.
Chimney, chimney. You're right. No one in their right mind would try to come down a chimney.
Parents rent a cottage to get the kids into the holiday spirit, mostly resulting from Angelica revealing the department Santa Claus is not the real thing. Come on, don't act surprised. I especially love how in most episodes Angelica gets her own sinister theme music.
But the biggest and most important thing I want is a deluxe Cynthia beach house with real working hot tub, satellite dish, entertainment center, and attached garage. Yeah.
She's like Damien from The Omen, especially since she mentions what she wants for Christmas.
A Beverly Hills Cynthia lunchbox, a Polly, and a 9/11 emergency surgical kit with working stethoscope.
There we go. She did it. She caused 9/11. We all thought it was a scheme from radical Islamic extremists, but no. She didn't get a Cynthia Deluxe dollhouse, so she exacted her revenge against the world. Call the press, I got a hot one. Jokes aside, it's episodes like that that make me realize years after watching this show is how the adults play just as important role in the show as the babies. If anything, it's what kept the show in balance. The show always highlighted the babies' adventures through taking the mundane and making them seem extraordinary, all while the adults' lives would highlight this contrast as well. If anything, it gave them just as much character as the babies, making them just as memorable. But the storyline that brings everything together is how Angelica gets Phil and Lil to trade their gifts for one another, which in ways mimics the gift of the Magi. Well, let me rephrase this. It's like how Angelica that forces the gift of the Magi, rather than letting Phil and Lil wanting to get gifts for each other. So, in some ways, it works like a parody of the original story that we rarely ever get to see. However, it's when she realizes that Santa gives bad kids coal on Christmas that makes her change her ways. In the end, it's an entertaining special if you like watching the Rugrats, and I highly recommend it for fans of the show.